In my own opinion, climate change is not only the main challenge we are facing nowadays, but it is too the greatest threat for the current society. Um, if in the past war and hunger meant the fall on the clash of the hegemonic civilization at that time, it could mean too for us or fall, but not only as a society, but as human, as living things in the world. Despite the efforts of some of the world leaders and political parties to minimize the scientific discoveries that proves that climate change is real, the UN have said that if we don't make a great and true change in our world, the damage will be irreversible. Uh, Only by a great modification, a revolution in the economic system of the world, we cannot fight and combat the climate change itself. Because at this very moment, we can say anymore that well, let's make a change before it's too late, because it's already too late.
I think it's real. We know it's here and we must do something about it until someone else has to put a barrier on us. Like when do you use your own car or when do you use electric power? If you have the privilege to have clean water, that's not gonna last long. If companies and consumers keep this rhythm of life.
So, climate change, as we know, is the change in global or regional climate patterns, and we are all responsible for this. Us by changing our environment, we are changing the patterns in the climate change. Hence why some of governments have done things about it. For example, in the case of UK, they have encouraged and they have put policies in place for electricity and energy providers to help to reduce this climate change and to reduce basically the usage of energy that is not renewable. In the case of UK, I know that they have done these renewable obligation certificates where a company that is in charge of providing energy that is a supplier basically, they have to buy these certificates and they have to use renewable energy like solar panels and like wind farms, etc., etc. So I think it's depending on the country and depending on us if we stop the climate change.
Climate change remains a priority issue. The year 2019 was the second hottest year recorded by the UN. Obviously, this has a great impact on the environment. It is important that measures are taken to decrease greenhouse gas emissions. Not only is it enough to reduce the carbon footprint caused by each person, but also governments must regulate big companies so that they also reduce the carbon footprint and become sustainable. In the same way, local consumption should be promoted more, promoting products that are friendly to the environment in their production, ingredients, and packaging. It is important to continue educating ourselves on the subject, learning what we can do individually to reduce our carbon footprint and to have better purchase and consumption habits. And also, it needs to be included more in schools from basic levels and throughout the students' education so that children know why is it important and learn how they can help.
El cambio climático es algo real, es algo que nos ha estado afectando de una manera significativa en los últimos años y que si no tomamos acciones para disminuir el impacto de de las actividades humanas en el planeta, vamos a tener graves consecuencias a nivel pues mundial en todo lo referente al calentamiento global, a todo lo que impacta este calentamiento en los mares, en las temperaturas ambientales, en la forma de vida misma de las personas. Hay que buscar energías sustentables que nos permitan tener el menor impacto posible dentro de lo que es nuestro ecosistema para lograr el menor impacto negativo y pues seguir viviendo de una manera óptima dentro de las posibilidades y ver si es posible de alguna manera resarcir el daño que hemos ocasionado a la naturaleza.
Considero que los cambios climáticos tienen que ver mucho con el calentamiento global, la contaminación, la sobreprotección, a lo que yo he estado leyendo principalmente por internet. Entonces, siento que es una alerta que nos está dando nuestro planeta para que nosotros nos demos cuenta qué estamos haciendo por él. Entonces, sí debe de ser algo muy significativo, ya que algunos climas o cambios de climas han sido muy drásticos en nuestro entorno. Entonces sí debemos de buscar la forma de cómo ayudar y de dar un alto a lo que estamos realizando que puedan afectar al planeta.
Hi, my name is Autumn and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My opinion on climate change is that it's a real threat to our health, environment, and economy if we don't start taking precautions now and change the way that we're currently going about our lives and businesses. Personally, my state is seeing warmer winters and less snow and ice out on our lakes. If we push these telltale signs to the side, we're going to face some serious consequences that could have been addressed earlier.
Hello, this is Fernando from Mexico. Regarding the climate change, I think that it's very important for us to have and to be accountable as individually to some extent. But most important for me is for the companies to take ownership and take accountability for their actions in the past that has led us to this climate change crisis. In the past centuries, some of the companies were polluting the world and were taking advantage of the mineral resources and generating a lot of pollution into the air. And if we gather all our efforts individually, this will improve in some extent, this crisis. But if we are on our own, it's very difficult to reverse this trend that is now being very, very, very hard. I think so the companies need to be accountable for their actions in the past, and in some extent to provide to individuals who want to take the responsibility also with the tools that are going to reverse this this tendency for us. So thank you. Bye bye.